To another Sunday School short. Today we are in Song of Songs or Song of Solomon. It's a love poem. It's beautiful. Take it with you when you get on these getaways with your spouse, and you can do this. Read this. Take the husband to read the male part. Allow the wife to read the female part. Take your time and reflect on this. Take your Bible to these getaways when you guys can slip away from the kids and stuff like that. It's a true love poem, a true relationship, and that's guided on more than just feelings or emotions, but commitment and devotion. That's what a true marriage looks like. Chapter 1, compliments versus complaints. It's easy for us to complain all the time and point out the little things, but we need to compliment. Their wedding day, Solomon, this is the wedding day. Solomon sees a peasant girl, and it's caught his eye. She works in the field. Her skin is dark, which is commonly, it was undesirable at the time, generally speaking. Now, of course, everybody tans and whatnot, but you were seen as a worker at that point. Rather than being nagged and like the constant dripping, as it talks about in the Proverbs, wouldn't it be nicer to hear, "You are so handsome, my love, pleasing beyond words," and to say to your wife, "How beautiful you are, my darling, how beautiful." And then chapter 2, verse 7, don't awaken love until it's time, till the time is right. And this is remembering their courtship after they were married and looking back on that. And courtship's an older word. It's kind of dating on purpose, dating with a purpose. The point of their dating was to develop love and friendship and commitment. And don't always rush into marriage on just feelings alone. Oh, he makes my heart go pitter-patter, or she makes my heart go pitter-patter. Whatever, she makes me feel this way, he makes me feel this way. Always and always, after marriage, return to your vows. The little foxes that they talk about in chapter 2 are the little idiosyncrasies we have, and the irritations and the quirks and the problems and the issues that pop up. And they can destroy a marriage. We have to work through those things and just get over some stuff. Things like chapter 3, likely the girl is recalling a dream here, the wife, and she's fearful of Solomon's safety. And we've likely had some of these type of dreams for us that we woke up in the middle of the night, oh, I thought something happened to you, or I dreamed something happened to you, that type of thing. Then the changes scenery, changes scenes here. We go into the engagement, the wedding night, and the consummation. The young women of Jerusalem are likely members of Solomon's harem or just workers in the palace, that type of thing. The young woman talking, so it goes from young woman, which is the wife, to young man, which is Solomon. Young woman talking, come out to see King Solomon, young women of Jerusalem. He wears the crown his mother gave him on his wedding day, his most joyous day, which we look back oftentimes. Our wedding day is our most joyous day. Verses 1 through 7 goes to describe her beauty that day. He's talking about her beauty that day. And I love this. You have captured my heart, my treasure, my bride, my Wendy. And it goes on to talk about how she makes him feel. And then the young man continuing, you are my private garden. Now we're leading up to the consummation period. And he praises her for her virginity, which is considered old-fashioned in our society, but it continues to be God's plan. See, sex outside of marriage or before marriage is ultimately unfulfilling. It may elicit a physical response, yes, but it ultimately will be unfulfilling emotionally and spiritually. And if it's not emotionally fulfilling and spiritually fulfilling and physically fulfilling, for both parties, then it's not all that it should be. Whereas sex inside of marriage should meet all those and more. Verse 16, the young woman, come into my garden, my love, taste its finest fruits. 5, another troubling dream from the young woman. Some time has passed, the honeymoon's over, so to speak. Cooling of emotions are taking place, and there's excuses, indifference, and slowness to her husband's advances. And so here's the imagery that takes place. A knock at the door. The husband is knocking at the door. And the last part of verse 2, open to me, my treasure, my darling, my dove, my perfect one. That's the husband asking to enter. And in her dream, her response in the young lady's dream is, I've taken off my robe. Should I put this on? You know, I've washed my feet. Do I need to get them soiled again? He tried to unlatch the door, and her heart was thrilled, it said, because she didn't have to do much. But he was still pursuing her, essentially. But she did jump up at the door, but at that point, he was gone. This is all a dream now. It doesn't mean necessarily that he left. It just means that there is separation that takes place, and there was distance that takes place. And we've all seen that in our marriage. When we don't put in the effort, when we don't pursue our spouse, we can see distance is created, and we take our spouse for granted. And over time, that just naturally happens. We get lazy. But she searches for it, which is what we do. We search back for our spouse, and she asks for help. And by 10, she's recalling and renewing her love for him in verse 10 there, chapter 5, verse 10. And she describes him by the end of 16. She describes him, he is desirable in every way. Song of Songs, chapters 6 through 8 here. I'm going to run through these. The young woman, I am my lover's and my lover is mine. The young man goes in and praises his wife's beauty. In verse 5, turn your eyes away, for they overpower me. That's amazing. You know, if your wife's eyes still have that power over you. And I'm telling you guys, or girls out there, if you're getting flirty eyes or friendly eyes from somebody, just remember this. Hey, why do I need to go have Spam when I have filet mignon at the house? All right, chapter 7. Much of Solomon's description here in 7 parallels his description on the wedding day. And many wedding couples look at it this way. My parents who have married 50 years would say the same thing. She's more beautiful now. He's more handsome now. Their marriage is better now. Those types of things. And it ends with the wife in 7 here initiating the getaway, initiating the lovemaking. And that's the way it should be in a healthy marriage, that both desire for closeness takes place on both parts. It's not just one coming to the other for all the spiritual, emotional, physical needs, and the other one doing little of nothing. Chapter 8, it's far into our culture today, but in some cultures today, and certainly in the ancient Near East where Solomon lived, PDA, public display of affection, was not accepted. Only between family members, not even between husband and wife. So the wife here is wishing, hey, I'm just wishing that you were my brother so I could kiss you in public. And I think that's sweet, that she would think of it that way. She's not thinking of it any other way. And it goes on to say, love is as strong as death, verse 7, and you can't buy it. Talking about that in verse 7. It's a gift from God. And it ends with the young woman reflecting on her brothers protecting her when she was young, and protecting her for marriage, those types of things. And it talks about her vineyards, her own personal vineyards. She had property of her own, are now Solomon's as well. And that's what we are. We are to be one, physically, emotionally, financially, all those things inside of a good, healthy marriage. This is such a small glimpse of the Song of Solomon. I've been trying to keep these 5 to 8 minutes. So read through this, especially if you can read through this with your spouse. God bless you. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell notifications to get alerts when new videos come out. God bless you.